breaking news. But I think he shaved off all his hair. That's what I mean, I haven't seen the pictures. Anyway, enough about that. It's 19 minutes past 2 o'clock. I'm Jumoke. As always, my first guest on the show is someone with an unusual or interesting profession. And joining me in the studio this week is the dancer turned entrepreneur Lauren Templeton, who, after teaching in several schools across London, went on to found the Select School of Performing Arts, which 7 years on is the UK's largest independent, non-franchise performing arts provider, working with over 1,000 children weekly. And joining me now is Lauren. Lauren, gosh, that sounds sounds like such an undertaking. How did it all begin for you? Because I said there that you started with regards, you were a dancer yourself,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And then you go, what happens next?
Yes, for sure. So I started dancing at the age of 2. My mum took me to my first ballet class then, and then I just fell in love with dance and performing arts, and I took dance classes and drama classes, singing classes at my local school, performing arts school, and I love being on stage. I remember wearing like a green sparkly costume, and I just had the biggest smile on my face. And I think from there, my friends were like, yeah, that's the route she's going down. So that's what I wanted to do. So then I went to a full-time performing arts school for my secondary school years, Arts Ed, which was amazing. It was, my absolute dream that I was able to do maths and science, and then you get to go and do ballet and drama, and there were so many inspirational, amazing teachers there that really got me to where I am now, and I'm very, very inspired by everything that they have taught me when I was there. So then I continued my education, and I did a degree in musical theatre and dance. Nice.
Oh, you're one of those triple threat people.
Well, more dance, but yeah, I do sing and act. And then after that, I decided, okay, let's go for it. Let's get into the industry. Let's get an agent. Yeah. Let's audition. Yeah. And I did that for a few years, but I never really had my break as such. Yeah. With the industry, there are so many amazing opportunities that you can have from it, but the other side of it can be quite narrow-minded and
demoralising. Yes, it's a big challenge being an actor of any ilk.
A challenge. So alongside the auditioning, I was teaching. Yeah. And I soon realised that my passion had switched. It wasn't necessarily the wanting to be on stage and performing. Yeah. I was getting that from teaching the next generation. So I worked in lots of different dance schools and performing arts schools all across London. I think at one point I had maybe 30 or 40 classes a week, driving from different places. Yeah. But I just found that there seemed to be a bit of a gap for children that didn't necessarily want to pursue it as a career. Mm-hmm. And then the other schools, it was more relaxed, and it seemed to lack kind of structure and progression with the classes. So I thought, maybe I could start my own school. And in 2019, I started Select, hired a studio in Stanmore. It's a secondary school, Avanti Secondary School, which we are still taking classes in now, and started with 3 ballet classes. My mum on the front, doing all the registers. She's a teacher and she's amazing, and ticking everyone in. And then from there, I just always knew that I wanted it to be something that could reach as many children as possible, and for it to be a platform where children can be seen as individuals before they then have maybe, exams and shows, and without that pressure from such a young age.
Well, that sounds amazing. And it's interesting when my introduction, because obviously your people send through the brief about it being non-franchise, because there's a lot of, why is that so important?
Because I have done it all. Well, not just me, my team, but it's not a franchise as such, where if we wanted to open in a different location in London or in the UK, it's not a set fee that someone has to pay to open that. Okay. We have an amazing team of managers and teachers that oversee the different venues, and they're all employed under us.
Right. And so it sounds like that's a huge undertaking then. When you're talking, how many sort of classes are you running per week?
I think Joanna, my manager, will be like, this is wrong, but I think it's about 110 classes a week with 1,200-ish students weekly that are attending the classes.
And what are they learning? Ballet, obviously.
So all performing arts now. So as we've grown and evolved, we do all dance styles. So that could be ballet, street dance, jazz, cheerleading, tap.
Wow.
We also have all the drama, the singing, and we also a few years ago started with piano and drums and guitar. So we're performing arts predominantly, but we also have kind of the music stream as well.
And what sort of age range are we talking about here?
So we go from 2. We have a little class called Mini Movers. So they come with their grown-ups, and the grown-ups love it, actually. they love the wands and the scarves, and then all the way up to adults. We're currently not doing adults at the moment, but we did have an adult tap class, which was quite popular as well.
What have you learnt in scaling this up?
So many things. Yeah. I think the main thing is that you have to take risks and you have to do things when you're not ready. And there are so many times that from that one studio in Stanmore, I could have thought, I'm not sure about reaching out to this new venue, or I'm not sure about taking on this new class. But if you wait until everything feels perfect, you're never going to do it. So I think for me, it's about taking those risks and doing things, taking that leap, really, and also about learning how to delegate. I think when it's something that is yours and you've started, and it was only, I would say, 5 years in, I then decided I think I need some more people to help me because I was doing everything myself. So I think it's knowing when you need to ask for help, I guess, and when you need to ask for support as well.
It's fascinating to hear you talk about this, because it sounds like you have found a way of turning your passion into something that really will have longevity for the future. That must bring you continual delight.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of that, and I'm also extremely proud of the opportunities that not only we give our students, but bringing performers in or teachers in. Sure. You know, as you know, the industry can be sometimes still perceived as a hobby and not a serious career, but building Select has made me realise it is a real business, and if we can give more people those opportunities to, you know, be full-time teachers or develop our curriculum, I that's something that I'm incredibly proud of.
And I'm also struck by the notion, something you said earlier on, about it not being about you want to be a performer, therefore you are going to stage school, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? But because the skills that artists bring to the table, whether drama, dance, whatever, are transferable skills. So 100%. You may not necessarily want to be an actor or a dancer, but there are things that you learn through the discipline of learning that you can take into everyday life, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's really the real core of what we want to give these children that come to our classes is, yes, they learn all the skills if they want to go and do that, but it goes way beyond what they're learning in the classes, like you've said. If they're able to perform a song or a dance on a stage, then when they're, you know, older in an interview, or they're able to do a presentation, all of those skills of confidence and self-expression are transferable.
But have you had any young person then decide, well, actually, I do want to be an actor, I do want to be on the footlights?
Well, so it's still fairly early on, 7 years. So we do have an agency as part of our school as well. Right. So that is another pathway. If, you know, the children and the parents decide we want them to be put forward for things, they can. So we do have a few students on there that are going for auditions, and if they, you know, they can continue doing that if they want to, but it's not across the board. Everyone in the school needs to have the pressure to fit a certain mold or look a certain way, and I think that's something that I'm very passionate about in changing the way that we also teach, because everyone's an individual and we need to change how we teach things so not everyone learns the same way.
So it sounds also like it's a lot of giving out, that I know you've got a team, but the reality is that you are at the head of this, and therefore who pours into you?
My amazing husband and my amazing mum and dad and my family and my friends. And with all of them I wouldn't be here. You know, they're so supportive, but alongside that I have mentors, and I have coaches that, help me with the business side and have really helped me scale and grow this. And that's something that I'm now helping other dance school owners and performing arts school owners really be able to scale and build their business, but also be able to live the life on their terms. So it's not so consuming, because I think I had been there at one point where I was like, this is so overwhelming to deal with everything. So I think, I have an amazing support system. I'm very lucky.
7 years in, though, are there young people who were with you from the beginning and are still with you now?
Yes, the same. So the studio that we still hire at Avanti Secondary School in Stanmore, northwest London. I remember the first trial class we did, and I think I had 3 classes and I only had 1 student in each of them.
Oh, bless.
And one of them is still with me now.
Wow.
So that is lovely to see her progress and grow, and not only within her classes but also her as a person.
Well, listen, it's extraordinary, and thank you so much for coming in this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an absolute delight. Let me give people details. I was speaking there to Lauren Templeton, who is the founder of Select School of Performing Arts, and you can find out more about the school and their classes over at selectschoolofperformingarts.com. That is selectschoolofperformingarts.com. My thanks to Lauren for coming in. Here's Sammy with the travel.
Thanks, Jumoke. The Elizabeth line has minor delays